Whereas the Board of Trustees, Village of Fredonia desires to increase the sewer rental in the Village of Fredonia, and whereas the proposed local law number 3 of 2010 of the Village of Fredonia in its final form is now upon the desks of the members of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, which proposes to increase the sewer rental rate 1,000 gallons of water supplied to the premises from 305 to 315 per thousand of water supplied, and whereas said proposed local law reads as follows. Section 1, the local law should entitle a local law amending Section 237-15D of the Code of the Village of Fredonia relative to sewer rentals. Section 2, Section 237-15D of the Code of the Village of Fredonia, last amended on June 8, 2009, but local law number 4 of 2009 is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 237-15D, said rural rental is fixed for customers within the Village of Fredonia at the following quarterly rate of a minimum $5 charge plus $3.15 per thousand gallons of water supplied as measured by water meters approved by the Village of Fredonia by sewer meter approved by the Village of Fredonia. Section 3, the local law shall take effect July 1st, 2010. Now therefore be resolved that the public hearing be held before this Board of Trustees, Village of Fredonia, on the 28th day of June, 2010, at 7:30 p.m. at the Trustees Room, Village Hall, Fredonia, New York, to consider the question and act of said proposed local law, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized to cause notice of said public hearing on said proposal local law to publish in the Observer as required by law.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the Chief Inspection Officer is hereby authorized to retain Michael Miga of Dunkirk, New York, to contract for the removal of weeds and overgrown grass and brush from premises located at 201 Newton Street, Section 113.11, Block 3, Lot 51, with the first time mowing not to exceed $40 and for maintaining thereafter not to exceed $20 as needed. Be it further resolved that if the cost of such removal is not paid in 30 days, that such cost will be levied against the premises and placed upon the next village tax bill in accordance with said Chapter 223.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the Chief Inspection Officer is hereby authorized to retain Michael Miga of Dunkirk, New York, to contract for the removal of weeds and overgrown grass and brush from premises located at Clinton Avenue, Section 113.12, Block 1, Lot 26, with the first time mowing not to exceed $65 and for maintaining thereafter not to exceed $30 as needed. Be it further resolved that if the cost of such removal is not paid in 30 days, that such cost be levied against the premises and placed upon the next village tax bill in accordance with said Chapter 223.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that Christine Decker is hereby transferred from the position of Deputy Village Clerk to the position of Assistant Court Clerk with the Village of Fredonia at $17.97 per hour, effective June 1, 2010. This is a provisional appointment subject to civil service rules and regulations.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that Tolman Engineering is hereby authorized to submit an application for the Chautauqua County 2011 Occupancy Bed Tax Grant in the amount of $39,905 on behalf of the Village of Fredonia for a Canadaway Creek Bank Stabilization Project along Forest Place. And be it further resolved that if application is approved, the village will provide monetary or in-kind services in the amount of $48,292. And be it further resolved that Tolman Engineering fees would not be paid unless said grant is approved. And upon approval, engineering fees would be paid as set forth in the grant application in an amount not to exceed $17,450.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the schedule of meetings of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia for the period of July 2010 through December 2010 as set forth attached to these minutes is hereby approved, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized to publish said notice in the Observer and to mail a copy of said schedule to WDOE Radio and the Jamestown Post-Journal and Buffalo News.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the Village of Fredonia accept title ownership of the child passenger safety seat trailer from the Governor Traffic Safety Committee at no cost to the village.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Whereas a public hearing was duly called and held before this Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia on the 24th day, May 2010, and the questions of the enactment of proposed local law number 1 of 2010 of the Village of Fredonia entitled Home Improvement Tax Exemption of the Village of Fredonia, New York. And whereas due proof of publication of the notice of said public hearing was presented to this Board, and whereas said proposed local law was laid upon the desks of the members of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia at least 7 calendar days prior to this date. Whereas, after due deliberation, this Board desires to enact said proposed local law. Now therefore be it enacted by the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia as follows. Section 1. This local law shall be entitled Home Improvement Tax Exemption of the Village of Fredonia, New York. Section 2. Chapter 263 of the Code of Village of Fredonia to add a new Article 4 for purpose of providing for a home improvement tax exemption as permitted by Section 421-F of the Real Property Tax Law of the State of New York is hereby amended as follows. Section 263-21 exemption granted. Residential buildings which for the purposes of this article shall mean any building or structure designed and occupied exclusively for residential purposes by no more than 2 families that are reconstructed, altered, or improved shall be exempt from the taxation levied by the Village of Fredonia on the increase in assessed value attributable to such reconstruction, alteration, or improvement to the extent provided hereinafter pursuant to 421-F of the New York State Real Property Tax Law. The length of the said exemption shall be 8 years. Such exemption should be computed in accordance with the following table. Year 1 would be 100%. Year 2 would be 87.5. Year 3 would be 75%. Year 4 would be 62.5. Year 5 would be 50. Year 6 would be 37.5%. Year 7 would be 25%. And year 8 would leave you at 12.5%. Let's see, Section 263-22 exemption base and market value defined. I'm just going to read up to there. The exemption base shall be the increase in assessed value as determined in the initial year of the term of exemption, except as provided by subsection B of this section. In any year in which a change in level of assessment of 15% or more certified for a final assessment roll pursuant to the rules of the State Board or PS, the exemption shall be multiplied by a fraction, the numerator of which shall be the total assessed value of the parcel on such final assessment roll after accounting for any physical or quantity changes to the parcel since the immediate preceding assessment roll, and the denominator of which shall be the total assessed value of the parcel immediately preceding final. Assessment roll.